close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways.
Welcome along to round 3 of our season 1 of the sprints on Fridays, and looking forward to seeing some good hard racing around the Red Bull Ring here this evening. And yeah, 20 cars on the grid, so not too shabby for a Friday night. Of course, you would have seen a great race, half a great race last week, as unfortunately I had to stop the stream early due to having my family over with the niece who was up crying. So of course family comes first, but no more interrupted streams now. And yeah, looking forward to this. We're just on with Morris Boutin, who's in fourth at the minute. Giuseppe Castellano in qualifying here is running P1 at the minute. Super close out there at 1:27.847 for Giuseppe. Christoph Torpedo Tedder is his name, and he's in second position provisionally at the minute. Then we've got Graham Kerr in P3 in the Ferrari. Then Morris Boutin, who we're just on with, in P4. Then we've got Lavarone in P5. Spatuzzi is in P6. Usmanov there is in P8 at the minute, as Dominic Geese jumps up into P6, and yet again his livery isn't there. Then we've got Aaron Holloway next, and he is sitting in P9 at the minute. Of course, Aaron, not a scrap of practice at all. And let's see what he does here this evening. Then we've got Chris Polycott in P10. Then we have Anonymous Rat in P11. Then we've Simone Verzonis in P13. Then we've got a new face, although he's not new if you've heard his comments before. He, of course, has been in Supercharged and Amigos and elsewhere. And even sponsors Carmen A. Mooney's on the back of his car. This Alex Newman, or Aces as he's known in Discord. Very, very good commentator. He is very professional. And he was actually telling me, do you know what, I'd love to come and join you for comms tonight. And then next of all, he's like, nah, do you know what, I'm going to race instead. Could not be bothered talking to Colin. I was like, fair play, Alex, no bother. Then we have Gilhadri next, Fabio. And he is, of course, racing for the M4R Squadra Course Racing Team with Robert Miglioli there. Then we have my boy Nathan Warren next. Then we have Liam Smit, 2ID Matty ERA livery, even though this is the 2ID guys. Then we've got Anthony Ferrante and for Energy Simulation. And then Christopher McLean, KCMG. That is a beautiful, beautiful looking Nissan. So, getting back up onto the business side of things, who's actually improving on their time. Kerr is improving by a few tenths, so we're going to stay on with Kerr as he goes around. And he's at the penultimate of the corners now. He needs to ace this next part. He gets a beautiful, beautiful exit there. And he's still up around 2 tenths. He's going to jump tethered out into P2, I would assume. Yes, he does. Not by as much as he was probably hoping, though. So Chris has a bit of work cut out for him. Look, Chris actually holds the fastest first sector at the minute. Castellano has the fastest second and third. Aaron Holloway is improving in the Honda. Gets the job done, fair play to him. Of course, Supercharged Motorsport driver. We're delighted to have quite a few of our drivers in here as well, which is nice to see. Morris Bhutan now up into P2 there. Great lap for Morris. So Morris Bhutan is up into P2. Chris is going to go for a lap now, although he does have a bit of traffic behind, as Lavrione just gets the job done and jumps up ahead. Dominic Issa is next, and Dominic is in P7, not improving at the minute. Nathan Warren's improving, but dominating now and see if he gets on. He might get a bit of a tow off. It looks like Torpedo Tether ahead of him. So let's see. So as he's going up there, nah, he's dropped down. Let's see, where's who's next there? McLean's up about half a second. So KCMG doing a good job there. Where is Mr. Newman in all of this? He's in the pits. Of course, this was only a quick jump in from him because he hadn't done any practice, to be fair, so I can't give him any stick for that as well. But he should, I'm assuming, get up about higher. Aaron, though, didn't get the exit there. That sausage car dropped him a few tenths, but he is up quite a bit of time. This could see him jump up possibly to where Dominic Issa is. Depends how he gets on with the rest of the lap. He seems to enjoy the Honda, to be fair. And of course, anyone who knows our team livery will see there is an old Grid Finder logo. We're proud to be partners with them, and we're helping develop their tool for them, and they're an amazing team. Tom, all the devs over there, thanks so much. So we will be proudly representing and advertising Grid Finder. Our Formula 1 league is transferring over there for season 6. So if you ever want to race in F1 24, find us on Grid Finder and register today. A big bit of sideways there for Aaron Holloway, and he's absolutely, yeah, he'll have to go again. He impeded that lap, unfortunately. Want to jump on Liam Smit, he's not really improving. Castellano from Bhutan from Spatuzzi. Chris Tedder on a lap but hasn't improved. Spatuzzi is looking to try and improve, but at the minute is not really getting there. Let's see as this does develop in the next 7 minutes and 44 seconds or so. And it's not majorly too cold. I set for a bit colder, but luckily for the guys, it hasn't been brutal, and it's optimum track conditions in terms of grip. Aaron Holloway up a bit of time now. Not up as much as he was last time coming around there. So he will have more and more time to find, but now he's going to be stuck behind Anthony Ferrante. And unfortunately, there's nothing he can do there. He's just going to have to wait. Traffic will not be his friend. He's given up on it. I think he's waiting to try and get himself some time. So we'll come back to him because I know there's a good time coming from him from what I've been seeing. Alex Newman still in the pits. Liam Smith's up a bit of time here now. Let's see where this jumps. Limo up in the P15. Miglioli, just as jumping on. Lost a bit of time. Giuseppe Castellano's finding a bit of time here again to try and extend his advantage. I'll be keeping an eye on Aaron Holloway as he gets to go around again. Tedder not improving this time round, but Dominic Gisse is definitely improved. But look how close it is. The top 6.275 of a second splitting them, which is massively close for the top 6 there. So, he's lost all his time. He was up. No, so he'll have to go again. He hasn't improved this time around. Morris Bhutan is improving slightly at the minute. Is there anything he can do now to try and upset Giuseppe Castellano? The Beamer chews those curbs. And Morris has lost quite a bit as well towards the line. Chris has lost it in the background. Can't park there, mate. Dominic Issa is on a lap. He is improving now because Giuseppe Castellano is up a tenth again. But let's see, Aaron Holloway. I know he can improve a lot more than where he is at the minute, so let's see how he does go. Of course, I raced this NSX along with Aaron on the Monday night in Amigos as well, so give them a little shout out. So Aaron's jumped up in the P8, but I do feel there's more to come from him as we're on now with Fairnees as we go around. But just to announce as well, we have announced for the 15th of September, we're running a three-hour race in Bathurst. It was community voted, so it's going to be a mixture of GT2s, GT3s and GT4s. It's available now on SimGrid. Follow us on SimGrid. Register for the event. Join the community. And it should be good fun. Of course, then we have our Wednesday championship. There'll be a few spaces for that. And of course, you're more than welcome to join on our Friday sprints if you're fancying a race. Look, it holds 50 drivers, so you're more than welcome to come on, of course. If we go to the Nordschleife, it'll hold slightly more than 50, so we can accommodate a bit more for that one. Oh, as he gets sent to Narnia. Liam Smit improving slowly. He's lost all of that improvement as I jump on with him, but I just think if you get the S's wrong at all, but you can still crawl some of that time back. Okay, so he's going to improve slightly. Is it enough to jump a spot? It is! Up at the P11 he goes. It's awesome. See, never give up on your lap. Anthony Ferrante is finding a nice chunk of time for himself. Good stuff. This is what we like to see, Anthony. So he's found half a second, so he is slowly but surely improving with every lap as well, which is lovely to see. So this is it, guys. They probably have 2 more laps, really, if they're able to get around in time. So this is going to be it now. The top 6 covered by just slightly over 3/10 of a second. And then it's a second group down. Dominic Gisa is stuck between them at the minute. He's 0.7 off Paul, and the rest are 1.1 back. So you essentially have 2 splits here. So we'll have 2 different races exactly to be looking at. As the track temperature is now 20 degrees. So while it's getting hotter, it's still not madly hot. So it will be absolutely beautiful on those tyres. And I'm sure they'll all be enjoying that as well. Okay, so he's given up on his one now. Spatuzzi is out there now on a lap, slowly improving as well. So let's see, can he push forward in any way, shape or form? He is now a 10th and a bit. Be interesting to see. Castellano will need to find some time. Aaron Holloway will need to find some time. Usmanov is finding some time. Possibly could jump Aaron Holloway here. Everyone's losing a bit of time coming off that corner, but this might be enough. Unfortunately, it's not. He's lost too much. So him and Aaron are quite close and teammates, of course. Let's see what Aaron Holloway can do. So Kerr up a little bit of time there as well, but not major amount of time, but it's enough though to make a position though. This is the thing, even though it's minute, because it's so close between the top 6, the slightest bit of improvement could gain you a position, possibly even 2. So it depends how he takes this last corner. Nicely done. He's found a bit of time through that last corner, and this could be 2 positions jumped here. Boom, it is. Less than a 10th covers the top 3. Sorry, 2/10 cover the top 3 now, as Castellano's put in a new fastest lap as we were doing that, a 1:27.552. So the guys definitely need to find something. Kerr already is up about a 10th as well this lap round. Spatuzzi pretty much even. Aaron Holloway start another lap up on the PA. Will need to find more time, which he is doing at the minute. So this is it. If they cross the line now, they'll get a lap in the next 50 seconds or so. Then it's too late. So anyone who's in the pits now, it's 100% too late. That's it. So Castellano's decided, you know what, I'm in the pits, I'm happy enough, that's it. Staying on my Aaron Holloway because he's after jumping up a lot of time. Could possibly jump our Dominic Issa here as well. So let's see how this one goes for him. He's doing a nice job here. It's working out well for him. So that's it. No one else can do a fast laps. This is Aaron's lost on the last corner. He was up about 7 and a bit tenths. Oh, he'll be fuming at that one. Lavaroni has one more bite at the cherry and is up a bit of time. He's jumped Kerr and Bhutan. Chris Tedder is out of it now as well, unfortunately for him. There's nobody else improving, so keep an eye now on Lavarona, who does have another bite at cherry. Although Nathan Warren possibly could. Nah, he's not going to pull enough time in that to jump up. Jump back on then with Clemente Lavarone or M4 or Squadra Corsa Racing. Racing G, didn't know about the Sprint Friday Championship. Mate, you're more than welcome to sign up and jump into the next one. So we've got the Friday Championship, the Wednesday Championship, and we've one-off event that the community voted for. That's on this 15th of September. It's in GT4s, GT3s, and GT2s. So there's 15 GT2s, 15 GT4s, and 20 GT3s. And yeah, that's happening in September 9th. It's a 3-hour race in Bathurst, so you can either do it solo or you can do it as part of a team entirely for yourself. Most drivers is 2 drivers, so should be a bit of fun as well. So absolutely get involved. So yeah, that is it for qualifying. Giuseppe Castellano and Lavarone on the front row, and M4 or Squadra Corsa front row. Then we've got Kerr with Morris Bhutan next. Then we have Spatuzzi and Tedder on the 3rd row. Giese and Aaron Holloway on the 4th row. Usmanov and Polycott on the 5th row. And then where we've got Vernies and Liam Smit then on the 6th row. Rat and Warren on the 7th. Gilhardy and Newman on the 8th. Miglioli and Wright on the 9th, and then Ferrante and McLean on the 10th row. So 20 cars even tonight racing, so waiting to see the last few seconds before it jumps across to the main grid. Of course, tonight, like always, we've introduced the first lap double penalty system, and it most of the time does prevent an awful lot of incidents, so the drivers need to remember that if they cause an incident here, it's double time penalty. It's definitely too late to join now, mate. We're actually in the live server because we run on personal servers. As you know, once I get the entry list from SimGrid, I have to apply that and then turn on the entry list. So then it's only the drivers who registered can race. So it will be too late now, as we've after doing qualifying, and I won't be able to restart the server now at this stage, unfortunately. But keep an eye, or go on to SimGrid, go into our Discord, go on to SimGrid, register up, and keep an eye for the next race. I do announcements obviously on the day of them as well, so yeah, definitely. But back here this evening, it is going to be fun. Let's see, will we get any glimmer of rain? I don't think we should. There is a slight chance of a bit of cloud, so let's see how it goes. Fastest lap this evening again, guys, was a 1:27.552, and it was from 1st to 6th, less than half a second covering them. Then from 7th back to about 15th, it was a second covering them, and then the others were just slightly off from that as well. So I'm sure that'll change throughout the race. Maybe it might be a track that many people get to race a lot of the times, the Red Bull Ring. So we'll be interesting to see how people evolve through the race as well, as they get to understand it maybe a bit better as well, as we're now on to this here now. So let me have a look now. I'll do the normal stuff that I do. So I'm just going to jump on. Actually, no, before I do that, I'll just disconnect off that I'm not stuck with the car, so then it won't be hopping around the place. So, calm the camera down. So we'll just do the full grid. So the first row is Giuseppe Castellano and Mr. Lavarone. Then in the second row, we have Kerr and Bhutan next. Then in row 3, we have Spatuzzi and Chris Tedder, or Torpedo Tedder as he's mainly known. Then in the next row, we have Dominic Gisse and we have Aaron Holloway. Of course, Aaron had a great win in Monza the week before, so you'll remember his face from the last sprint stream. And then the next row, it's great to see all the supercharged livery team driver cars. Then we have Artemis Manoff and Chris Polycott next together on row 5. Row 6, then we have Bernice and Liam Smit, so M4R and 2ID. Then next we have Anonymous Rat and Nathan Moran side by side then for row 7. Then on row 8 we have Gil Haldry for M4 Squadra Corsa and Alex Newman, the professional comms. Then in row 9 we have Miglioli and Anonymous Rat. And then in row 10 we have Ferrante and McLean. So it's going to be some good fun racing. The laps are quite short around here. So the first thing I'm going to just go all the way around here is I am absolutely praying to the baby Jesus that people get around this corner safely, because a lot of times you will see 2 or 3 cars side by side on the run up, but you know yourself it's not going to run. Luckily enough though, with the Red Bull Ring there is this massive runoff, but the issue is as well you might get a track cut, so you need to be quite smart in how you do it. But also up here, I call it turn 2, but it is really turn 3 because of that kink. But here could be a cause of massive upset on lap 1, so people need to play it smart. They can come up here and do a Max Verstappen and Lando Norris if they want to do, and see how it goes, but it's going to cause carnage if they come in too hot, so they need to be very, very smart. I suppose for the first lap or two it's always going to be all about it, but especially in the first lap with double penalties, you could literally ruin your race. And the same thing here, you will get people trying to throw it up the inside, and even some people trying to go around the outside there, and that's absolutely fine to do. I do feel you might get a little kind of a move wanting to go here, but then it might single line out because it's nearly impossible to get a proper overtake done here through the S's. Now on the exit of the S's you might do if a car gets a better drive, but yeah, it's going to be very, very good fun, and I do expect to see quite a few drive-throughs with track limits with people pushing it too hard, and the likes of these corners here where you can abuse the track that bit more. But yeah, that is your grid for this evening, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys do. I'm going to interview one of these lads. So what do you think about the race today? Sure look, sure listen, should be grand. Liam Smit's going to win. Okay, that's one lad. Let's see what the safety team lad wants to say. Torpedo Tedder takes everybody out in the first corner. Okay, that's grand. I'll ask the third lad up here, see what he says. Ace is definitely professional comms, but he's going to crash. Right, you just have it there, guys. That's what all the staff are saying on track, so let's get into this. Hopefully now we've, 48 seconds, we'll hear people starting their engines. And there's the bop as well. The Ferrari is minus 18 kg. The McLaren gets plus 22. The BMW gets plus 26. Plus 8 for the Lamborghini. Minus 20 for the Honda. Is there any other cars out there? Plus 3 kgs for the Nissan. So even the Nissan here is fairly goated, getting a little bit of weight added to it. So yeah, gonna be good fun this evening, guys. I really hope you enjoy the racing. Oh, as I don't know why it's not working, but there we go now. I'll press on that. We'll get into it now. So we'll go into the TV2 cam for this, and we'll get into it. Was expecting adverts, or were you? Here's an advert for you. Chris Tedder Torpedo. Out now. Right, any minute they will be getting going. And I may get my bottle of Luke's in now actually as well before we get going, so one sec. Oh, now I have my Lucasade there. I have a feeling I would have been thirsty tonight without it, you know. So as we're going around, it looks like they're all going a bit mad, eager to get going. So Castellano, Lavarone on the front row, it's teammates. Boat racing for M4 or Squadra Corsa. Let's see how we get going as the race is about to get going. Any second now. Any second now. There we go. And away we go. So let's see how it goes into the turn one. It looks fairly calm at the minute. Morris Bhutan covering off the guys behind, as it looks like Castellano does stay ahead of Lavarone, then Morris Bhutan, then Chris Tedder. Looks like Kerr's lost a few positions there on that start, and then Dominic Gisa is actually jumped up past Batuzzi, and it looks like Aaron Holloway and Usmanov are right there. Lavarone though and Castellano swapping positions for a second, but Castellano, of course, rightfully gets it back. Okay, there's a few cars behind. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to stay on with Tedder and Bhutan here though, as they're coming up side by side though. Bhutan's going to have to hang it around the outside. Dominic Gisa is right there with them. Tedder's holding the inside line. That looks like that's Lavarone just ahead as well, trying to cover it off. Then we've got Kerr right behind Dominic Gisa, and then Aaron Holloway past Batuzzi as well. Morris Bhutan and Tedder. Bhutan getting back by Tedder. Tedder trying to cut across, but he knows it's just not the corner for it. Dominic Gisa was trying to show his nose, made Tedder run a bit wider. That might help his drive for Dominic Gisa here. Tedder's lost ground to Morris Bhutan. And yeah, Gisa's right there as well. He's going to go for it. Is he? No, he's going to hold off Tedder on the defensive line. Nearly cuts into Morris. Him and Dominic run very wide. And Kerr nearly gets took out by Dominic there as well. Dominic had to run very wide. Oh, no. It's happened. Oh, Kerr did not hold brakes and is after murdering an anonymous rat there. Let's go back 15 seconds, see. So, just ran wide and lost the rear end and went again. Oh, anonymous rat got smashed. Wow. So we've got Castellano from Lavarone, then Tedder, then Aaron Holloway and Spatuzzi side by side. And looks like Aaron Holloway might have the beans here. The Honda being a bit faster in a straight line. It'll go back further though, guys. Although we wait to see, does he go for the dive up the inside? No, he has to give it up. Spatuzzi does. So we go back then. Gilhardry is next with a heavily damaged front on Dominic Gisa. Then Liam Smit is right there with them. Miglioli next with a hugely damaged McLaren. That was massive. Nathan Warren then next as well. I think Nathan might have a bit of damage as well. He does, after whatever happened earlier on. And McLean doing recovery up now with him side by side. Then we have Ayarta Musmanov next, who's carrying quite a bit of damage as well, with Anonymous Rat, who of course we've seen. Just, yeah, he was super unfortunate there. Kerr will probably be seeing quite a penalty for that. There's Liam Smit and Miglioli. I think Miglioli just needs to try to get to the pits. So we've got Polycott as last at the minute with Anonymous Rat there. Anonymous somehow kept that car going. Then we've got Polycott, then Kerr with a massively damaged car as well. Then Veronese, and then that's Miglioli in the pits as well. So look, I'm going to go back on here. Dominic Gisa is after getting by Gilhardry and is on a recovery there. Guys, the last lap around was a 1:28.452 is the fastest lap. Exactly the same time between Lavarone, Bhutan and Chris Tedder. The top four, the three of them out of the top four have the exact same lap. I'm going to screenshot that because I have never in my life seen that. That is crazy. Wow. So yeah, as that's going on, guys, let me look at the battles elsewhere. So Kerr, Rat and Miglioli are in the pits there now. So Castellano is keeping a decent advantage from Lavarone, Morris Bhutan and Chris Tedder right there. Aaron Holloway catching up to these guys, Batuzzi right there as well. Dominic Gisa as well right there with Gilhardry right behind him and Liam Smit. And then Nathan Warren and Usmanov there or thereabouts. I know Nathan, or is it both of them, are actually carried a bit of damage. McLean doing a great job there in that Nissan started P20 up in P12 at the minute. Alex Newman having a great start as well, doesn't look like. I know there has been a bit of damage on his car, but nothing major to be fair, as it looks like one of the drivers has decided to give up on life. That was in the pits, unfortunately. But Liam Smit getting by Gilhardy, as Gilhardy's had a moment, so let's see. So Liam Smit on the inside, Gilhardy on the outside. Then Dominic Eastley there. Oh, Liam, I don't think got a turn in enough. So the stewards will look at that after, so it won't be a big deal. But let's see, can I go back now in a minute as Newman and McLean side by side. Newman gets the job done on McLean, actually. Well done to Alex. Let's go back and see that. I had it done just before that. Must have been into turn one. And he's after getting that job done. And wham bam, thank you, man, says him. Then Polycott then next with Veronese. Looks like Polycott has got by Veronese, though. Who is there, of course. Then that is the McLaren, it looks like, of Migliole. Oh, no. That is McLean. What's happened, McLean? Did he drop it by himself? He did. And Migliole behind. Very unusual to see a car lose the rear like that on that corner. Maybe he might have let off and cut himself out, but that's quite unlucky for him. We're going to jump back on here now as you see that Castellano has pulled out quite a gap. Bhutan, though, is kind of closer to Leverone than Leverone is to Castellano. So they are kind of spreading a little bit. That's kind of the closer battle with them two. Dominic Guisa, and then Spatuzzi is a bit too far ahead, but Dominic Geese, then you've got Spatuzzi is what, about 2 seconds ahead. Then you've got Liam is about a second and a half behind Gilhardy next, so it is kind of spread out a little bit now because some people are getting damage. But I'm going to stay on with these guys at the front, give everyone a bit of airtime as well while I can. And while it's kind of calmed down a bit, let me have a look at these contacts. So if I go with 40 seconds, it's 3 and 59. So that's probably too late. So Anthony Ferrante was off at that stage. So let's go back to this one here. So 444. So that's him up the inside. Oh, aces caused that. Oh, wow. Unfortunately for aces. There will be penalties after. These things happen. But yeah, that's not the ideal line through that corner there. That was all from the lap 1 incident. I don't think there was any others from lap 1 that I can pull up at the minute. Let me see, there is this 707. Was there a moment? Oh yeah, he missed the corner altogether. So that was it at the race start. That's exactly then how he ended up going so far. But luckily enough, his teammate seen it and avoided any crashing there. So that's good stuff, guys. I just wanted to look through kind of what happened at the start a bit while it's calmed down. As Morris still a little bit behind there. And then Holloway next. Oh, Nathan Warren and Gilhardy swapping positions. Gilhardy not going to fight that one too much and has got the job done for our Nate. So next up, Usmanov, of course, started higher up the grid, but does have, it looks like, more substantial front damage than Nathan Warren. So it'll be interesting to see in the next 20 minutes or so how he can fare out here with this one. Back further, Polycott, Vernies then just ahead, then behind them. That looks like that is Migliole. So Anthony Ferrante doing a decent job in P15. Then Alistair Roy. Oh, it was Alistair, I think, that got murdered. Sorry, not Anonymous Rat. It must have been Alistair Roy who got murdered that time. Sorry, Alistair. So he's with the black Ferrari thinking that it's Anonymous Rat. And then McLean, unfortunately, now back down to P17 after his great work at the start of the race. But these things happen. So Liam Smit, I don't think, is able to make an impression on Dominic East. As Dominic is trying the best to catch up to Spatuzzi, but Spatuzzi is putting the pressure on Aaron Holloway now. Aaron takes a slightly more defensive line than what he'd normally do as well there. So Aaron very, very aware that Spatuzzi is there and is going to do his damnedest to keep him behind as well. He only has another 20 minutes to go. Of course, Aaron Holloway was the race winner last week. Different track. And Aaron jumps from the Wednesday League. We race in the Porsche into the Honda here, and then the Honda in Amigos then as well on the Monday. So he's a brave man using a different car during league races. So while that's going on, here we have Morris Bhutan, who is putting the pressure on Laveroni now. You know, Morris is very good with his tyres as well. I'm pretty sure Morris has got a race win, but that could have been on the Wednesday Championship. I need to start looking at the standings now and announcing them through the streams. Oh, it's looking quite nice at the minute. M4 are holding the top 2 positions at the minute. Then Supercharged Motorsports, the Amigos racing team just behind as well. And then Aaron Holloway in the Supercharged Motorsport. And then Spatuzzi in the M4R Squadra. So, interesting to see it. Then we've Dominic Gisse, who quite a bit of front damage on that car, but I think it'll hurt too much to pit for a lap. And Liam Smit doing a good job. I don't think Liam's been involved in any incidents, holding his own in that BMW for 2ID. Nathan, of course, holding his own. Gilhardry is holding his own. Usmanov, Newman, Veronese and Polycott as well. So Chris out of position as well. Bit of damage on his car. I think every car has been in the wars at one stage this evening. So Bhutan and Miglioli, Spatuzzi and Holloway. These are battles. And Tedder's the one that's stuck in between these battles. Kind of just biding his time, maybe hoping that there is a little bit of crazy action. As Bhutan is sticking right there with Laveroni. Castellano, of course, probably hoping that his teammate just stays there and blocks him off as much as he can. So let's see how that one goes. Spatuzzi and Holloway getting quite dicey as well. Spatuzzi definitely seems to have the edge, but then that NSX is just an animal in a straight line compared to the Ferrari, that is. Interesting. So they both take very different lines. Spatuzzi takes a much wider line and seems to be able to carry a lot more speed throughout it. Aaron Holloway takes just a bit more of a fluid line, and it seems maybe that his exits just aren't there with the Ferrari, but that's down to probably car characteristics as well. On here with Morris Bhutan again, who is still there with Laveroni. Don't think there's anyone too close behind other than this fight here. For this is Alistair Wright and Anthony Ferrante. Alistair Wright side by side with Ferrante, but I think Alistair Wright's gonna be able to get this move done, and it is. Alistair is true, and unfortunately his team name is Collision, and he was an unfortunate passenger in one of those crashes just with the car not holding onto the brakes. So let's see how that goes. Miglioli, P18. Christopher McLean doing a decent job as well. Spatuzzi seems to always get quite close up to P1 and then has nowhere to go. Aaron definitely got the better exit that time. So Aaron seems to get a much better turn 1, which in turn just gives him that pull then down that straight, and it's just enough to keep him from getting caught up with coming into this hard braking zone. And as you see how Aaron takes it a bit more, he turns in slightly earlier but a slightly less aggressive angle, and Spatuzzi goes a bit more aggressive on the wheel, but I think Spatuzzi is definitely faster around turn 3 than Aaron Holloway, but that could be the Ferrari as well on exit for whatever reason. It's probably just better on throttle maybe, because I know the Honda, if the power or the traction control kicks in at all, it's quite aggressive. I found on Monday night when I drove it for the first time in a long time. Morris right there as well. Usmanov having a good battle. Anthony Ferrante and McLean swapping places again, side by side. Anthony takes the wide line. McLean has to just give in. He knows the job's not done, and look, I think that was at least very, very fair. He's done the right thing there. Didn't go too crazy. I think it's Kerr as one of the drivers we've lost who was involved in the first lap incidents. Should have kept it going for the points, to be fair. But sure, these things happen. So we're going to jump back almost with Tuzi and Holloway. It's the same situation. Bhutan and Leverone, same situation. And Chris is the little fill into their little race sandwiches in between. Dominic Issa is still going nice and strong after, even with the damage. Then it looks like that Nathan Moore is slowly catching Liam Smit. But Liam should have enough of a gap to cover him to the end of the race. Gilhardry now is under pressure from Usmanov. Usmanov very, very close to him compared to what he was a few laps ago. Alex Newman is starting to catch these as well, and Usmanov up the inside. Gilhardry though, not giving it to him, so Usmanov had to get out of it. Gilhardry runs wide, and they're back to square one again. Back further, Polycott is there, right past Ferrante. McLean is starting to get closer again as well, so I'll be expecting another little battle between these two. Aaron Holloway's pulled a little bit. This is probably the biggest gap I've seen in a while between these two, so Aaron Holloway may be starting to edge out a bit more performance now, so we'll see come near the end. Bhutan 13 minutes and 37 seconds. Oh, he gets a lovely exit, but then the curb does kill them, so the time that he gained is gone. Headers are sitting there going, alright lads. Dominic East is still doing a good thing. Yes, Aaron has definitely pulled out a bigger gap than I've expected. Does he lose the gap here? Two very different lines. So let's have a look. Newman. Usmanov now is on the back of Gilhardry again. This could be where he feels that is going to happen. He's going for the inside line. He's a lot closer up the inside this time round. But Gilhardry gives the room, but I think probably too generously. Both of them were being very cautious with each other. And both lost out a bit of time for Alex now to catch up a bit more to him. Usmanov and Gilhardry added again into the next corner. Usmanov's going to go for the inside line. Gilhardry sees it. Usmanov has to get under. Oh! Alex Newman gets 2 places for the price of 1 there. That was very unlucky for these guys. They need to get going in a safe manner. Number 8. He can get going after the next. He's going to go the other way just to save himself, and fair play. He'll get back out there. So back on Chris Tedder, still the sandwich. Bhutan dropped off a bit, but Tuzi's kind of at a stalemate at the minute. Let me see, Miglioli doing a good job in P18. Of course, he had to stop for heavy damage earlier on. Can I see what happened to him? He's car 51, isn't he? Let me see. Did it put it? Because it could have happened by himself either, and then it wouldn't pull it. I'm feeling that was by himself. I don't know what it was that happened to him, but he got huge damage. Then McLean, after his great start, dropped it then in turn 5. And it was quite unlucky, to be fair. But still doing a good effort, at least to keep it going with minimal damage. Anthony Ferrante having a good race as well. I think he was caught up in some of the craziness as well, so good recovery from Anthony as well. Then we've got Alistair Wright, who absolutely died a death coming around the last corner. I think it was Kerr and Geese who came together, and Alistair unfortunately just got murdered because there was no brakes held. So not his favourite race, I'm sure, today, but unfortunately these things happen. But he's kept it going. Fabio Gilhardry next, then Usmanov, of course, they came together. Then Chris Polycott, who I think was involved with all the incidents at turn 1 as well, from Veronese. Then Mr. Turn 3 master himself, Alex, doing a very good job now up into P10. Nathan Warren then in P9 after all the lap 1 antics. Liam Smit in P8. Dominic Geese in P7 with that front damage. Spatuzzi then in P6 with Aaron Holloway in P5 in the NSX. That's very impressive. The fact he didn't even practice is quite good. And they're catching Chris Tedder now. So Chris Tedder next. Maybe Chris was fancy a bit of a race. Maybe the guys ahead are just have too much of an edge in terms of race pace. I'm not sure. I'm giving Chris excuses that he can use for after. Then we've got Bhutan and Lavarone. And then Giuseppe Castellano has pretty much had his own way this race. Doing a very, very, very good job. Sorry, I'm drinking Lucas there. So you've got Chris Tedder there from Aaron Holloway from Spatuzzi, all fighting for 4th, 5th and 6th. And what I might do, if you want to tell me who you'd love to see an onboard lap with, whoever gets the most votes within the next minute and a half, we'll do a full lap with them on board. And we'll go from there. So let me know who you want to see a full on board, but it can be anybody. So if you're watching and supporting somebody, be it whoever they are, let's see, and the most votes will get that. And if I don't get many votes, I'm just going to pick someone at random. See how to get my randomness. I'll tell you one thing, Aaron Holloway is fancying a bit of Tedder's P4. Vernies, where's Polycott? Oh, Polycott jumped on it at the wrong time. And then now that's Usmanov with Polycott. Oh, Alistair's gone very wide there. What happened to him? So he's on the... He's got a bit messed up under braking, it seems, and red and white, but not a bother, back going, and near panic there. Oh, as I say that, he's had a moment. Sorry, bud. So Holloway and Tedder here, super close now. Tedder on the defensive. Holloway has a good bit of traction in this Honda here. So Holloway has a much better line of entry. Spatuzzi right there as well. This is getting super, super close now. Tedder's just going to hold that inside line. He knows what he needs to do. Aaron Holloway, though, has severe overspeed compared to him. As nearly side by side, he's going to have a much nicer line. Spatuzzi's right there as well. Holloway trying to get on the power. I think Holloway has the slight better exit, but that McLaren, though, is beautiful out of these corners around here in the Red Bull ring. So the McLaren is quite a nice car around here. I'll tell you one thing, Holloway giving Tedder a run for his money here this evening. How's Bhutan getting on? He's kind of close enough there. McLean just had a bit of a moment. Anthony Ferrante doing a good job. Alistair Wright's back on. Ferrante up in P15, but we're going to jump back on with this one here. Aaron gets a little bit sideways, though. He's giving Chris a tiny breather. And I'm going to jump on for a full board lap with Aaron, I think, because he's kind of right there with other cars inside the Honda here now. Let's get on with Aaron. You see in the mirror camera there, you see Spatuzzi. The put-away he has in the Ferrari, both of them do, is sick. The Ferrari's getting a double Toto as well. Should surely come back a bit. Aaron's a bit further back this time as well. Two completely different lines. It's neck and neck with them. Like last lap there, all on the 129 kind of sevens. Oh, that's Spatuzzi was 129.6. Oh, Morris Bhutan had a moment. I missed that while all this was going on. Let me see, can I get that on the stream, because I've been so engrossed in this battle. So race control. What number is Morris? 707. Let's see, there was contact. So a back marker. Oh, was that a back marker? Oh, that was 707 112. That was a genuine coming together between both of them. Wow. While we were engrossed in that battle, so Bhutan is by Spatuzzi, as we were off camera there. Holloway and Tedder next. So Tedder's up in P3, Holloway's P4 now. It's all happening with under 5 minutes to go. So Tedder knows now there's a podium on. Morris Bhutan trying to get by some back markers. Bhutan and Spatuzzi get by safe enough there. So that's Lavaroni now fairly in the safe. Then you've got Tedder and then Aaron Holloway, although Holloway's dropped back a little bit this lap. Oh, he's getting much closer now though. Trying to throw it up the inside a little bit there. Tedder a bit sideways on the exit there as well. Tedder giving it everything here. Liam Smit though still doing a good job as well. I want to give everyone a little shout out. McLean and Wright for position. Where's, oh, what's happened? Right, let's go back really quick. So Wright gets out of the way. Oh, Spatuzzi ends up hitting the back of him. Not sure what went on there, but Alistair will get that back going and get the points here anyway. Let this replay run out. Jumping back on, so Holloway's back up there. Spatuzzi's dropped a little bit off Bhutan. I know Morris is running quite fast as well. So Tedder now under pressure here from Aaron Holloway. Coming down the main straight, Holloway's pretty much nearly there with Tedder. Both very different lines. Holloway going across, Tedder cutting across quite late. Has to kind of take a wider line because, or a tighter line, because Holloway had a much better run. This is great racing here. Chris is not going to give this up. Holloway is going to give it everything, but this is it. Chris can't squeeze him much more now. Holloway is doing all he can. Tedder knows he can get this. Holloway has to do a switchback. Oh, is he going to get switchback to work? Oh, they're side by side. Aaron somehow held on to it. The switchback was going to work quite strong. Although he's lost a bit of momentum there hitting the grass. These guys are literally on the limits of hard racing now. But they know each other enough that it can be done. So trying for the switchback again here and not working. Chris has the inside line, which is all you need for the next corner here. You won't be able to run this one wide, although look at this. Chris has dropped it. Oh, Chris has just lost it there. Somehow has not died. Morris Bhutan on the outside though. Whoa. How that didn't end in controversy, we don't know, but Morris seen that coming as well. So luckily enough the guys have all made it through there. But Aaron Holloway, that was phenomenal driving. You just forced a slight error and that's all it takes when you're putting pressure on. And I'm sure Chris will still appreciate that being a great battle there. That was brilliant stuff, lads. Brilliant stuff. That's exactly what it's all about. It's hard racing. You force an error or get the job done. And he's done enough where he just forced a small error, and that was just enough to get the job done. And now Chris will be under pressure from Bhutan and Spatuzzi now, as Holloway should feel a little bit more on the comfortable side now that he has that bit of a gap. Giuseppe Castellano here must feel very comfortable. All boys lonesome. I'm sure there'll be another lap to go anyway. Giving everyone a bit of a show. Newman, Veronese, then Usmanov, Chris Polycott, Gilhadre, Parante, Alistair Wright. I don't know why he thought he was an anonymous rat this evening. I don't think he races on Fridays, but that's it. Then we have Miglioli next there as well. But yeah, Morris now right on the back of Chris Tedder as we're coming around here. For essentially, they've one more lap. Or will it be two? Where's Giuseppe Castellano? Okay, so they will have one more lap after this, so that's it. So Castellano starting the last lap now. Holloway, our guys are a little bit behind them, so this is going to be the last lap now. Oh, Bhutan run wide, Spatuzzi runs wide. Leader is on the final lap. I'm surprised we didn't get a drive-through in a sprint race here this evening, though, as well, if I'm absolutely honest. So that's very, very impressive. So Bhutan might be under a bit more pressure from Spatuzzi than Chris will be from them. That's great, great stuff there. I'm back on Giuseppe Castellano. Half a lap to go. We jump on with him. He's pretty much had it his own way ever since turn 1. He had a slight bit of a moment with his teammate, but seeing it coming up in turn 3, was able to avoid it. And then drive off into the distance, and absolutely brilliant stuff there from Giuseppe here this evening. And M4 Squadra course, it looks like they're going to have a 1-2 with Leveroni on the second position. Of course, Jordan will be done just after the race. Looks like there's about 20 incidents there to look through, sadly for me. Well, I'll get them done tonight and get them all published. So it means it's done and dusted. But Giuseppe Castellano, congratulations. Pole position and the race win and the fastest lap, the trifecta here this evening. And well done to Giuseppe Castellano for the M4 Squadra Corsa racing team. They'll be absolutely delighted. And then his teammate Lavarone comes around then in P2. Great job from him. And a great effort from Aaron Holloway, coming from further down the grid and attacking all these guys in the NSX, and makes it a supercharged motorsport driver on P3. Chris Tetherden in P4 for Amigos, Morris Bhutan in P5 for supercharged motorsports, Spatuzzi for M4 Squadron in P6, Dominic Issa for P7 for Untalented Motorsports. Then we've got Liam Smit for 2ID, then coming home in P8 with Nathan Moran right on his tail by the end of it. So he had just enough gap to make that work with Nathan Moran supercharged in P9. Alex Newman in his first ever race in our community, instead of doing comms in it, is in the box in P10 with Vernies in P11. Then Usmanov is coming around now next into P12 for supercharged motorsports. Then we have Chris Polycott trying to go backwards in P14, possibly with Gilhardy. No, P13 still. Oh, there's Gilhardy there, so he does finish P13. Well done, Chris. Across the line he goes with Fabio Gilhardy in P14. Then it was Ferrante P15, McLean P16, Roy P17, and Milogi P18. Who's that doing donuts? Don't know who it was. But anyway, guys, that is it for our sprint race this evening. We will be back live on Wednesday for Red Bull Ring. It's a 60-minute race on the Wednesday Championship, similar conditions to tonight. And as I say, don't be afraid to, if you want to race in F1, register with us on www.gridfinder.com. Look up Supercharged Motorsports, follow and join up. Or if you're looking to race in our ACC series, if you go to simgrid.com and then follow Supercharged Motorsports, register with all the car that you want to do on that, and then join our Discord and we get you in. Until next time, have a great weekend, everyone, and thanks to ACC Drive for sponsoring and for our partners Track Titan and Grid Finder as well. Have a lovely evening.